Welcome to our first game week edition of Four Verticals. We're doing something a little bit different. To preview the season, we're going to be doing a snake draft of 5 players, and then we're going to evaluate them based off their Pro Football Focus grades at the end of the season to see who's done the best. And to join us today, we have Perry, who's our editor at Tomahawk Nation, and so let's get things started.
All right, so gentlemen, we are going to kick off our stupid fake draft hosted by your stupid fake host. And how we're going to determine draft order. Kevin, I believe, came up with this beautiful idea of guessing the score of an FSU game. I have 3 FSU games pulled up, so we'll figure out whoever gets closest to the first one, second one, third one. I'm pretty sure that's how many people we have. I'm not very good at counting.
Are we raising our hands to do it, or just interjecting?
First score. I'm going to watch hands. All right. 2012 Wake Forest, go. Kevin?
35-7.
Adam?
40-10.
Juan?
31-13.
John?
I'll do 45-17.
52-0.
What? I don't remember that.
I didn't remember that either.
That was the game. That was the game when Chris Thompson went nuts.
Yeah, because that's when he got hurt against Wake Forest the year before. Yeah, so it was Batman coming back, just beating down Bane.
Or does that mean John goes first? John had 45?
I think, yeah.
Are you doing it by score differential?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Please, the least pass in the distance. All right, 2015 UNC FSU.
What was the game? I missed. I didn't
North
hear it.
Carolina FSU. Adam.
That was like 35-30 or something like that.
Yeah, is that the one where they kicked the field goal at the end? Because it was in the 30s. Yeah, I'll take I'll go 34-30.
I'm gonna go 34-31.
37-35.
Oh, so am I closest?
I think so, actually.
Yeah, I
that's
think
a
so,
2-point.
Yeah.
I'm sure people will correct us in the comments if we're wrong.
That's okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. All right. Final
I
game.
wanted the 4th pick.
Yeah, the showdown.
Yeah. The question is this a snake draft?
Yes.
Yes.
That I screwed up.
Yeah, you messed up. All right. 2012 FSU Duke.
2012 FSU.
Is that the ACC championship game, or is that the next year?
No, that was the next
That's
year.
next year. That's I've thought of the most random ones. Adam.
12 was the Georgia Tech championship.
Wasn't that one like 31-17? No, 31-21. 31-21.
31-21 official guess.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to say we beat them by a little bit more. I'll say 35, 14.
48-7.
Oh,
I'll take it.
That was
Adam gets 4 and 5. So
I wanted the 4th pick.
I thought there was a punt return during that game for a touchdown, but there was like the last punt return of like FSU before DJ Matthews or something in 2012. But that's getting off topic. Let's go. So, just a reminder of the rules for everybody who has the attention span of me and has forgotten the last like 30 seconds. Everybody will be drafting 5 players. It's a snake draft. We'll be tracking it weekly, and it's going to be based off the average of their PFF scores. So, you could draft a quarterback and an offensive lineman, and it is the same concept. So, with the first overall pick in the Tomahawk Nation fake, ridiculous mock draft, John.
I'll draft Marvin Wilson.
Oh, a shocker.
Oh, man.
A shocker. All right, so Marvin, Terry.
yeah, I mean, that's immediate for me. It was literally one of those two.
He's not in my top 10.
So with the number 3 pick?
I guess that's me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take Corey Durden, actually.
All right, Durden. That face wasn't at Core Durden. It was because I typed his name Curtin for anybody watching. Adam?
Okay. I'm going to take. Oh, woof. I'm going to take Josh Kendo.
All right, Kando. So we have 3 defensive linemen off the board already, 1 wide receiver. We are back to Adam.
Okay. With my second pick, I am going to take. Brother.
Yeah.
I am going to take a little bit of a sleeper here. I'm going to take Amari Gaynor.
Amari Gaynor.
Ooh, interesting.
Okay. Kevin?
Yeah, I think I'll take Hamza Nasruddin.
Okay.
All right, you stole my pick on that one. It was for that one. It was either gonna be Hamza or Woodby, and I'm going Woodby. So
All right, so Wood Bay.
Wood Bay. I now have
Back to
vested
you.
interests on these guys.
All right, John's hard concentrating right there, thinking of who he's going to take. I see it in your eyes with your pick.
PFF, right? So I'll take Dante Lucas.
Dante Lucas.
John, are you doing some googling there?
Oh,
No, I have Adam's depth chart from before. I pasted it into Word. I'm deleting him as we go.
see, that's smart. He's a
All
smart
the prep
fantasy
I did.
drafter.
Fair enough.
All right, so we are back to John.
Again?
Yeah, snake draft. Oh,
Someone hasn't had enough fantasy drafts yet this year.
No.
that's why I just got off mine, so I'm just gearing, ready to go.
You know what? I believe in Helton this year. I'm going to go with him.
Okay, so we got a Hilton believer.
I'm gonna go with Corbin.
Corbin.
Oh, he
Nice.
jumped on
Almost
that
took
one.
him.
I was thinking of him
where-
earlier too.
That's where
Good
I was
pick.
going. That's where I was
Kev,
going.
you look itching. You're ready to go.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do Asante Samuel.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
He was up there for me, too.
Oh, you wanted the 4th pick so bad.
oh, that one stings a little bit. I'm going to be honest. That one stings.
So that's are you ready? Do
messed
you have your
up.
backup pick?
Yeah.
John said he messed up. He's going through the typical fantasy football owner draft. He's like, oh man,
No.
Like I had that in my queue.
I think I got to go with. I think I got to go with James Blackman.
James Blackman. Okay,
Blackman.
I think I got to go with James here. Yeah.
okay.
What
and
pick
then
was that?
that is the
That's my third pick.
third round. 4
Wow.
times 3 is 12.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
flying through
Yeah.
these.
Yeah.
And
Perry's a
I'm going-
math guy.
That's our math guy. I'm our stats guy. All right.
I'm going back to back here, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think with my 4th pick. Oh, brother.
Drum roll.
No offensive lineman. With my 4th pick, I think I'm going to take Cameron McDonald.
Cam
Ooh.
McDonald.
It's a good one.
Thought about Cam.
All right.
Mr.
Kev?
Mr. Reliable this year.
I'm just sticking to the defensive side of the ball. I think we're gonna have a good defensive year. Have we taken Robinson?
No.
He's available.
I'm between Robinson and Cooper. I'll take Robinson.
Robinson. All right, Mr. Robinson.
I just like the D line. I think they're gonna make each other look better.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with Cooper. I mean, honestly, the thing is, PFF grades are pretty, subjective on their terms. Like, they don't know the assignments, and it's really just about splashing. So
Yeah.
I think Cooper will do plenty of that.
Okay. There we go. Good reason.
He stepped up a lot last year.
He
John,
did.
have you contemplated your mistakes and regrets and have prepared for your next pick?
Every day of my life. I guess. I don't know. I'll take Akeem Dent. I don't know.
Akeem Dent? Okay.
Yeah.
And so now you just went through that existential crisis. You have to pick again.
Please don't make me do that. I'll do. I'm gonna roll the dice. I'll do. I don't know, Toafili. I think he vultures some touchdowns.
Okay.
Nice.
Interesting.
All right, 1.
Okay. Let's see. Not going to go for the offensive line. This is my last pick?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I guess I should be keeping count, but
I'm thinking a receiver who's going to make some nice splash plays. Although they do count run blocking for receivers, don't they?
yes, and so that's why I thought the Cam McDonald's a nice sneaky pick.
Yeah, in that case, I may want to stay away from that. Let's see. I bet you're going to see some flash on defense. Shoot, you don't want to go with a freshman linebacker because he's going to get graded poorly. Warren Thompson.
It's hard now.
Warren Thompson. That's
Warren Thompson.
bold
That's
strategy.
a
Bit of a reach.
Let's see how that plays out.
I think that is
I might get a
personally a good
0
pick.
on that one.
Yeah.
So, Pro Football Focus, the reason why we're using it is it's a 0 to 100 grading scale for all positions, and so it doesn't really matter how much you played. So, taking someone like Warren Thompson's not a crazy idea. It's also not crazy, like, in a normal draft, it would be crazy to take any running back because there's going to be, 5 or 6 that probably touch the ball at some point in time.
Be like the New England Patriots, yeah.
That's why
Like
John talking about Toafili vultured some touchdowns, but that could be big for his numbers.
Yeah, small sample size.
So that's a consideration. Man, I don't know who I'm going to pick. I might just take Ja'Kai Douglas for the same reason. I think he's
just
explosive.
the same.
He's similar to Corey Wren, but I think Ja'Kai, just based off what we've seen, is a more polished player right now.
Yeah, you get a lot of varying touches and approaches.
So guys,
nice
we do agree that this is PFF, not PPR, right? Because we're picking up a lot of running backs.
Points for football is, I believe, what the abbreviation is.
I'm going to stick on the defensive side of the ball, and I'm between Emmett Rice and Miko Dotson here, but I think I'm going to go with the player who led the nation in interceptions last year, Miko Dotson, for my final pick.
I think that is a good pick.
Good stuff.
Daytona, too. I think that obviously played a factor in it. Appealing to my Daytona love.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
100%. Sucking up.
So
I love it.
We had no one take Brownlee or Travis J?
Nope.
Nope. So that's you guys want to do the classic old breaking down the team.
Yeah.
John got Marvin. He's got Dante Lucas. He's got Helton. He has Akeem Dent and Toafili. Which,
a little top heavy.
Yeah, a little top heavy, but good rotation. And Marv is going to hold down, literally top heavy too. I don't know if that was a joke. I can only have 2 brain processes going on at the same time. Juan, you got Terry, you got yourself Woodby, you got Asante Samuel. Am I reading backwards?
No, I got Corbin, not Samuel.
Corbin, see, that's what I get for typing wrong. You got Corbin, you got Cooper and you got Warren Thompson. So very probably have more of the offensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an Adam. I just skipped Kev, sorry. Yeah, we don't care that much.
That's okay. He's an air raid.
He's an air raid guy.
Chubba Purdy, Tate, Rodemaker, James Blackman.
Hold on.
And Mike Leach.
Would you take Chubba, though, on your team? Because I don't think you would.
No.
I mean, maybe he's a running back.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to
He can pass pro, right?
Yeah, there you go. No grade Ray. Kevin has Hamza. He's got Asante Samuel. Am I reading it wrong again? Please correct me.
No, this is good.
Wrong.
This is right.
Okay. Robinson and Ja'Kai Douglas.
I think you missed one.
I missed one person.
Yeah.
Oh, because that's Curtin. Durden.
Curtin.
C.
Yeah.
And
Durden, Samuel, Hamza.
Yeah. All right, and then the winning team. Okay, come on. Shh.
Oh, I didn't draft. Amari Gaynor, James Blackman, Cameron McDonald. I only typed Cam. I was like, Cam Akers isn't on this team anymore.
I wish I miss him.
Yeah.
And Miko Dotson.
Final pick, Miko Dotson, 386.
Josh Kendo.
Yeah,
you forgot Kendo.
Josh Kendo. See,
no, I have
this is
Kendo.
again
Solid.
why I do words and I do not speak things. By the way, listen to the Seminole Rap podcast.
There you go. Good plug. I'm gonna go ahead and rank these. I'm gonna go from worst to best. Adam's team 4th, Kevin's team 3rd, John's 2nd, and I think I've got the best team.
Yeah, I mean, offensive guy there.
Not offensive is more like it. So hold on. So, but Perry, I mean, seriously, what are your thoughts? Who's got the best team here?
That's why I was just typing them out. I think Juan hypothetically would have a good team if we had a little bit more confidence in the offense. I like the Thompson pick. I think because of the offseason, people are maybe writing him off a little bit, but all we heard was good stuff before that.
He's got that Seminole Scholar patch now.
Then. He's got a Seminole Scholar patch. Like, he's really, putting his head down, going to work. So I think that's a good pick. I love the Miko Dotson pick. So I think it's Adam and Juan. John, I think, is going to be the New York Giants in 2008 and just sneak in there. Not this New York Giants. I'm saying the team that, throughout the season, you're like, this team's not good.
I was going to say Daniel Jones Giants. I don't want any part of that.
So, no, Perry, what you're trying to say here, and I think you're about to say it, is that just like the air raid, Kevin's going to finish last?
I don't know if I'm pointing at the right screen. On my screen, I'm pointing at Kevin, so...
No, you're on my screen, you're not.
Kevin's in the toilet bowl.
But, yeah, overall, yeah. We'll see.
We do be talking.
Yeah, overall, how many teams in the country could you reasonably take? 20 players and be confident in them? So I think
at least
overall,
3 teams.
At least 3 teams, for sure.
Pretty much.
Maybe more.
Yeah, I think all of us were probably pretty pleased with our top 4. Had a couple of reaches in the 5th round. I think they were all a little bit reaches in the last round. Toffoli, Thompson, Douglas, Dotson. All guys who have a good amount of upside, but I guess that's what you're sort of looking for.
John, what pick did you freak out on when you're like, oh gosh, I went so wrong in my life?
Everything after pick 1.
Yeah, I'm nervous about Robinson. I don't know. He's got potential. He just needs to show up.
Well, I think he is somebody who benefits from being in that box position. So you could see him register any sort of scores. Like, you're not just going to have to worry about tackles or sacks.
Man, if he was playing the field side end, I would be very wary of him. But yeah, at Fox, I think he's a lot better off.
But what's interesting is they're talking about doing a little rotation there with him and Quayshawn Fuller. So you could actually see them putting Robinson in good positions and his PFF score going up because he's playing a role that he fits, and then they get him out of there in times where it's not a good fit for him.
Oh, we've seen Quayshawn, I think, on the last bit of B-roll we got and we talked about it. He was playing Fox. Or wait, was he playing field side end in that one?
No, he was playing Fox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just didn't remember.
So, I think that James is kind of probably the one that I wish I could sell back, but I don't know.
Someone had to take him.
We'll see.
Week 1, it might do well.
But I believe in what he's done mechanically, the changes that he's made with getting the ball a little bit quicker and being a little more on his front foot when he throws the football. You see some confidence in him in some of this B-roll stuff that we haven't seen in years past. And he's talked about the accountability that he's wanting to put on himself and the coaches are putting on him. I think it's going to go a long way for him this year. We'll see. Not everything's going to be his fault like we've seen in the past. The offensive line having miscues is not going to impact his PFF grades as much. So who knows? I'm trying to be optimistic for James this year.
Yeah, I think it's a nice upside pick. Probably a little bit too early for a draft like this, but like you said, there's a lot of stuff that when it goes wrong, drops, sacks, stuff like that are O-line related or receiver related, that they're not going to hurt his grade. The question is if his percentage of catchable balls is going to be better than in previous years.
Yeah. So, John, do you think that the number of defensive guys we drafted, today, do you think that speaks to the lack of talent on the offensive side?
Yeah, actually, I think it does. I think that there's an issue with some of the depth on the offensive side. We still think Blackman, just off our conversation, is still a question mark. The offensive line is obviously still a work in progress. So, yeah, I think the defensive side is much closer to being done or even elite, like where we want it to be, and the offensive side is even still a little bit of a mess. But that's kind of why I went with somebody younger like Toafili. I think that there's opportunity there for someone to kind of maybe even break out a little bit, steal some touches. again, I mean, these coaches are going to roll with the hot hand. I think they're going to try to go with some younger guys. You know, they're not, again, like you said, they're here for the long haul. So, yeah, I think that's where it's going. And we're going to see some younger guys, and you never know who's going to flash.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the other thing I wanted to note is, it was of the top 7, that the 6 were defensive. The only offensive one was Tamori and Terry. I mean, so I think that tells you. But I mean, you're talking about some guys who are serious, first round consideration type players. Obviously, Marvin Wilson. You got Hamza Woodby. I mean, Terry's the only top 50 pick right now, as of today, on offense. I mean, 2 years down the road, Dante Lucas could be that guy, but I'm not sure he is yet.
Yeah, and you have to keep in mind what we're evaluating this. This is Pro Football Focus, If it was yards, we might be considering different. And honestly, thinking to Norvell's previous offenses, the position he churns out most efficiently into the pros is running back. And so it might not be a bad idea to take a running back or two, knowing his focus on getting his running backs NFL ready.
So yeah, just 2 running backs selected. So hopefully provides a little bit of an edge for you. What I think
depends
is
what you
interesting
consider Ja'Kai Douglas.
Yeah, that's true. You guys have mentioned, I think, plenty of times about how he's going to be lining up all over the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to help me or hurt me when it comes to PFF, if they're just not going to know how to evaluate as a slot receiver or as a running back.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this kind of pans out, though. I mean, this is something a little bit different. I think that we're going to see probably that some of these backups like Atoa Feely, some of those guys are going to end up having maybe scores that, and I'm not talking 80s and 90s, but I'm talking mid 60s, upper 60s, low 70s in that ballpark. They're going to boost your average and not pull it down like a Blackman. He very well could be in the 50s, I mean, if he doesn't have a good year and all of a sudden, I'm taking the starting quarterback and he's dragging my grade down.
That's a good point. Sorry for cutting you off, but he's the starting quarterback right now.
That's right.
You guys did not plan for the future there, so we could see the bye week problem come in that we see in fantasy football when you just do not have a quarterback.
Well, that's because Luke Altmaier's not on campus yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't plan for the future yet.
Yeah, which if you have not gone and read Coach AB's article on Luke Altmaier, there's a nice plug right there. Check that out.
We do talk about Altmaier for a while on Seminole Rap. He's a pretty exciting guy. Let's just keep plugging away. We talked about that we're going to talk about it on 4 Verticals too. So I mean, we got to talk about what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I think it's funny. We always keep going back Tate and Chuba, and my response at the end of the day is like, you guys can hate on me for liking Tate, but at the end of the day, the quarterback that's probably going to be starting 3 years from now is neither one of them.
Yeah, so I had that conversation with somebody earlier today that they were like, actually on the Tomahawk Nation on the thread or in the comments section of that overreaction piece, and somebody was like, oh, what do you think about Luke? And I was like, I think he's starting as a redshirt freshman. Like, I think he's your starter in 2022 because he just does everything Norvell wants you to do. He's running a college-ready system already in high school. You see how in sync his mechanics are already as a high school senior. I mean, that kid's polished and he's ready to go day one.
Yeah, I mean, you have 2 kids on campus, Chuba and Tate, who are pretty good looking. But yeah, I agree. Luke Altmaier, that's the one for the future.
Can I replace James with Luke Altmaier and just use his high school PFF grade?
Yeah.
Nope.
Just buy
it that'd be 100.
Keeper league.
It'd be 100. You'd be getting 110 for Altmaier.
Yeah.
The eligibility issue this year. I mean, Blackman is a redshirt junior, right? He's going to be redshirt junior again next year, and then a redshirt senior. So you got 3 more seasons. Is someone going to? I mean, what's the faith that we have from anyone here that someone's going to unseat Blackman? I know he's not an elite level player right now. Strong.
Yeah.
Strong faith.
Yeah. If he has a bad game, I don't think Norvell will be hesitant to pull him out, especially now that we know Jordan Travis is healthy or eligible or at practice in general.
The other factor here is, look, you really don't want you have two fairly solid quarterback guys in the room right now, and Travis and Altmaier coming in. And let's say 2022 would be the last year of Blackman's eligibility. Do you really think all 5 of those guys are going to stick around?
No.
So I mean, you're going to have too much attrition if you have a guy like Blackman, who I don't think has the highest of upside. So I mean, it's one thing if like, let's say Tate beats out everybody with his high level of upside. Not that he runs a 4.2, but he, he's not going to scare away Altmaier as much as like a Blackman continuing to go for 10 years and writing the new record books all over again.
So, my honest opinion on this situation, the quarterback situation, and, this has obviously been a big topic all offseason for Seminole fans. I think James is your starter for the year. I think you get through the year with him. I think you ride it. You got Marvin, you got Terry to come back. You're not throwing them to the wolves and throwing some freshmen in there that Chubba wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready when he stepped on campus, and then he got the collarbone issue, and that's going to set him back. Tate is going to be a good system quarterback, but I don't think he's ready to go. And I think James is going to be good enough to handle the offense. Having not seen a whole lot from him, the little bit we've gotten in B-roll and things we've heard from people around practice, I think he's going to be good enough to get you through this year, win you some games, but he's going to have his James flaws. But I think next year you're looking there's no chance. There's no chance, and I maybe he'll prove me wrong and he'll have a Heisman type season, but I think next year it's Chubba Tate, and that's it. I don't think you can continue to ride James Blackman unless Chubba and Tate are just absolute failures and misses as quarterback prospects. You've got to start your program with your guy. You can't continue to ride James Blackman for another 3 years, one being this year and then 2 following. So that's kind of where my head is at on the quarterback situation.
Yeah, and I think as fans we should be thankful that we have someone like Jordan Blackman who is a good locker room presence. I think people give him too much flack for the past few years of underperformance, but I mean, how do you watch those games last year and honestly think, man, if we had an average quarterback in over James Blackman, we would be a 9-win team. No, that's just not true.
Well, we had Alex Hornibrook, and he showed plenty obvious of what an average quarterback could do with that team, and it wasn't much.
And I think something you spoke to was just the leadership, and I think even with the questions of talent or decision making, that's something that's never been questioned, and we've heard it from Norvell nonstop. He's been nonstop. From the Sun Bowl, I think he said was his first impression of James. He was just the way that he carried himself. I had confidence and faith in him.
It's a good kid.
Yeah, I feel guilty saying bad stuff about him because I think he's a true Seminole. I think he's the ultimate of what you want at the quarterback position, from a desire, from a team perspective of a kid that leads. But, when push comes to shove, I just think he's broken goods because he's just been beaten up so much. And he went through a couple seasons where he wasn't held accountable at all. And that's not his fault. I mean, Look, you want these kids to say that they're all in and they're going to hold themselves accountable, but they're kids. I mean, they're 18, 19 years old. They don't know how to do that stuff. You've got to teach them how to do it. So he's been dealt a really bad hand, and I wish we could have seen his career here at Florida State with some stability because I think it'd be a lot different.
Yeah, and honestly, my biggest problem with James Blackman is that he doesn't know how to pull the ball on a read option.
Yeah, I mean,
you delivered that so dead faced that would it wasn't even a joke, just a serious
that hit me so hard in the face like it was Josh Griffiths.
For those of you unaware, that's a joke because people freaked out about the read option that Griffiths blew up in the backfield during one of the scrimmages, which
on an obvious run blitz.
Right.
All right, so enough quarterback talk. All right, come on. The only position that matters is the offensive line and the running back positions because we want to run the football this year. Okay.
Yep.
So I've got one for everybody. All right, Perry, and I want you in on this too with your expertise of the football playbook.
Use lightly.
So what we're going to do, and I think what we're going to try to do throughout the season is we're going to pick the play that they're going to score the first touchdown of the Georgia Tech game with. Okay, so whatever type of play you did. Not it's going to be a pass play, it's going to be a run play. No, I mean we're going to be a little more. We are the four verts crew, so we're going to be a little more detailed than that. But so I want to hear from. So what was the draft order? It was John, right?
Yeah. Why don't we start with Perry? Get Perry's impression first. For lack of a better way to put it, the average fan. No offense, Perry. And then the four verts crew.
Average, use lightly again. I mean, I'm just gonna go with the most simple thing I know. Madden, nice slant route to Terry, and he's gone. 70-yard touchdown.
Is this an RPO slant or is it just a slant?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, go RPO. We're gonna go RPO just to spice things up a little bit.
Taking the RPO slant.
Yeah, something we talked about a lot on Seminole Rap plug is that the way that Collins runs his defense is going to put a lot of pressure on the linebackers, and so they're just going to be dealing with so much. And so if you're concerned with everything else and you have Terry wide open on that RPO, which is something that happened a lot. I think, Kevin, you mentioned it. If I'm making you sound smarter than you are, then you're welcome. But I think just if you hit Terry in that right spot, he's gone, Mike. So that's my take. Third play of the game. I'll go even more specific.
All right, so let's go with John.
All right, I guess slant to Terry is my first choice. Thanks, Terry. I will go. You know what? I can see them throwing to Helton in the flat, running it in the end zone from inside the 5, something like that. So I'll do that.
Gotcha.
All right.
Simple, basic. One thing we talked about. We're going to see a lot of single high coverage, and I think one thing that Norvell might do is try to take shots at it with either shot plays or with some 3 verticals, which is one of the main, explosive plays we've seen him run in previous years. So I'm going to go with 3 verticals.
Not 4.
Well, no, he runs 3 more than 4. So
yeah.
Just let me make my jokes, please.
I'm gonna take one probably right out from AB's.
Oh, don't you do it!
82 down.
No, I'm not gonna do down. I'm gonna do outside zone.
Oh no, that's what I was gonna pick. I can't stand you.
That's predictable.
You're killing me.
It's like 40% of his play calls.
You are killing me, bro. Oh man, come on.
You're just gonna have to get creative.
All right, who's going to be carrying the ball, though? We'll put you on the spot there since you stole it.
Probably Corbin.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. You answered that too easy. Never mind.
That's exactly what I was going to go with. It is a kick in the nuts.
You can't let me be the one person that chooses a running back.
All right, so damn it. That's what I was going with. All right. So I am going to go with I'm actually going to go with Jordan Travis on a zone read keeper.
Wow.
Jordan Travis on a zone read keeper.
That's bold, given that we haven't really seen much of Travis at all.
I think they're going to listen, you got to use that kid's ability. He's too good.
Oh, I don't disagree. We just haven't heard much. We just haven't heard much about him at all. I was thinking the other one I was thinking was maybe like a flood concept, but it's just most of those are outs, and you're not gonna. You're gonna go out of bounds.
Well, technically, yeah. John might take it if he's got a flood concept and he hits the flat.
That's true.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. True. Honestly, he just takes the flat out of the flood. He just walks in.
Yeah, I agree.
If I had to go with something different, I was thinking like a throwback to the tight end, a little trickeration early.
Oh. I was going to say flea flicker, but that's just hopeful.
Maybe take one of those tight end screens that we've seen and run like a little counter off that.
Yeah.
Turn it into a throwback.
Well, I hope it's anything but outside zone now.
Well, I just hope that we get the first touchdown and like the first 4 touchdowns of the game. That'd be really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be a disappointing segment to come back to if we don't have an answer to the question.
Now, on that note, we were talking about doing a bold prediction segment for this game. So why don't we go the same order? Perry, what's your bold prediction for the Georgia Tech game?
21-point win.
How many?
21.
Ooh.
That's not that bold.
I don't know, for some reason, I think it's the high of game week is starting to set in where I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm starting to buy into Norvell, the coach speak, it's really starting to get me pumped up. I think just what we've seen from the team in the last 2 years, where obviously there are huge issues, huge issues. But just a little bit more discipline or like a little bit more scheme or like one or two things go right, there's a win. And I think we're going to see FSU take care of a not as good team for like the first time since when? Like, I don't even know if last year you could count Alabama State. Like, that was even like a little bit iffy. So I'm saying Norvell's coming out the reverse of the Tech game from 2 years ago. He's just going to come out, ball out, and I know that I'm going to be credited a week when I'm wrong.
John?
I mean, we're going bold, right?
Yep.
I'm as hyped as Perry. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go 150 yards rushing.
Ooh,
I think they make it happen.
That. I like that.
That's a good one.
I like that. All right, I'm going to go bold as well. I think James Blackman isn't going to play much of the fourth quarter.
Until the fourth quarter.
No.
Wow.
Into the fourth quarter.
Okay,
For
all right, I got
good
you.
reason or a bad reason?
I got you.
I mean, that's the beauty of it, Perry. I didn't actually say whether it was for a good reason or a bad reason. No, but I think I really do think that like they're gonna be able to put the ball in the air against these guys. I think I really do. Even though they have a pretty solid secondary, they're gonna pack the box, try to stop the run, and they're gonna be able to put some stuff over the top.
Yeah. Who do you think comes in if Blackman goes out?
He just wants you to say Tate.
I mean, I'm also part of the Tate. I'm also part of the Tate hive. People seem to forget that. Kevin's the one who's like on Twitter with like his Bay Hive emojis, but I'm definitely a Tate guy. Yeah, it's Tate. I mean, it won't be Chubb. I can guarantee that.
That's a good bold prediction.
Another bold prediction.
I mean, they still got a little triple option in them. They might just run the clock out for the whole fourth quarter. You know, we might not get the ball back.
No, but being serious, like I think that we'll be up enough that we won't see him play much in the fourth quarter. I think we're a good matchup.
I'd
like
agree.
it. All right, Kev.
So mine, when we had talked about this before, I imagined saying Jordan Travis was going to run in a touchdown, but I can't go with that. It'd be hedging my bets a little bit too much. I think that we're going to get 2 turnovers.
Okay.
So I think we're going to finish plus 2.
Okay.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, that was a big thing for us the past couple of years. We just never could convert turnovers. You know, we dropped like 30 interceptions. I don't think we're missing those opportunities.
And like one fumble
you just
in a
can't
Boise
be that,
State game, but who's counting?
Oh, yeah. You just can't be that unlucky year in, year out. We've had some pretty rough luck the last couple of years when it comes to turnovers.
Yeah. All right. I actually have 2 here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The first, a true freshman will lead the team in tackles.
Wow.
A true freshman will lead the team in tackles.
You're not going to
Are you
clarify?
thinking Lundy or Dix?
I'm thinking Stephen Dix Jr. plays a lot and plays well.
Wasn't Hamza our leading tackler last year?
Yeah, well, he ain't playing. So, and then my second, the defense has 6+ sacks on the game.
Wow,
6?
that's aggressive.
6+ sacks on the game.
You know, I think that's not ridiculous.
I mean, you could have gone with bold at 4. I mean,
Yeah.
Hey, I think Josh Kendo's going to have a big year.
I
And
agree.
I think he has 2, maybe 3 in this game. I think, we've heard Adam Fuller talk about how aggressive and how offensive minded he wants to be on defense. I think they're going to bring it every single snap. And I think this defense is going to play hard. I think they are going to taste blood and they're going to want more. Honestly,
on the flip side of that, with that aggression, you think we're going to see any busts? There's going to be some, obviously, but
you're going to give up a couple big plays, and I think you're willing to live with that. You're going to be willing to live with that because I don't see those busts turning into scores necessarily. I mean, they may after a couple more plays, but I don't think they're going to turn into immediate scores. But I mean, we've seen it. We've seen what he's done, and we've talked about what he's done defensively with a lot of the pressure packages. I just think he's coming from every angle.
yeah. I mean, the other thing that I want to mention, and I think Kevin might have been actually coming in to say it, is that the guy that they had a quarterback last year was better at the deep ball. and they're not going to be playing that guy. It's going to be, I forget the new kid's name. It's not Jeff Sims. It's the other one. But you're going to get someone who's more gonna beat you on the ground or with short passing, not over the top. So I think the potential for those busts to get bad is a little bit reduced than it would be for someone who's a little bit better with a deeper throw. So,
and honestly, for me, if my biggest thing about Georgia Tech last year was watching them, and I go into this in my preview I'm doing of them later this week, but when you see Georgia Southern transition from the flexbone, they actually got better as they moved up from FCS to FBS. And it's because they stuck to their roots more than Georgia Tech did. Georgia Tech decided to throw spread elements in. They wanted to move too quickly into the spread game, and you see it. They had one of the worst offenses in the country last year. I think they're stupid if they throw the ball more than 6 times.
I agree. I mean, I think you saw that. I mean, the last couple of years of Paul Johnson, he started, trying to integrate more spread elements. I forget the quarterback they had. What's that kid's name? Who could almost throw a ball. And they tried to, do some shotgun formations, spread the ball out a little bit more, and, get away from what they really do well. It's killing me that I can't remember that kid's name, but he's Paul Johnson got away from his roots, and it bit him.
Yeah, so I mean, my rationale with the sacks thing is they may have a worse line than Florida State. I mean, their offensive line was atrocious, and I think they're going to play a runner back their quarterback, and you mishandle a ball here or there, and suddenly you could be looking at a sack pretty easily. So that's kind of where my head's at.
I think this could snowball. I mean, I really do. Yeah. This is a game that's set up to snowball. Florida State does some things well.
Yeah, FSU's going to roll. I don't think there's a whole lot to it.
I can't wait for us to all be miserable. That's what I just know. Yeah. But no, I think you guys are all saying it right. Because I have to reverse jinx. I have to put the opposite energy in the air. Because, like I said, I just think these kids haven't gotten a moment of confidence in so long. And in Boise State, like, they had it a little bit, and then the one thing went wrong and it didn't. And Norvell's big thing is move on to the next play. Keep your mental strength, go off for all of that. So don't be have PTSD going when it's 28-0.
Thanks, Perry.
Yeah. Oh. Yes. Right? That was a nice little emotion.
No, that was a nice little wrap up too.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to do this weekly now that the season's in. A lot of thanks goes out to Perry. We're gonna try to keep up with all this stuff. I think that the scheme bet that we did earlier is gonna be a good thing to look back over when we see you guys next week. So this was a lot of fun. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Go Noles.